Good afternoon there, everyone. It's Tim, the trucking legend, today for a while. We're going to try to split them up a little bit today. I'm on my way to Palm Beach, Florida. Um, I'm sitting on the side of the road right now, but I had to get this game going. Anyway, good afternoon to everybody. It's just now 12 noon here in Central Standard Time. Get up there and move it around a little bit. Gonna hell have it right. Get your butt up there. Stay up there now. Well, thing up there drooping a little bit. Anyway, I'm already started. I'm in Arizona, fixing going to Mexico on 40. From Barstow, California to Palm Beach, Florida, or Palm Coast, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna say good morning to everybody, or good evening to everybody. Hope y'all enjoy the videos. We got 1,946 miles to go to Palm Coast, Palm Beach, whatever. Did have 2,300, and I drove them last night without being on. Look like we coming into Mexico. Thank you, Mr. Skillman. I can bypass. Thank you. We're coming in Gallup, New Mexico on Interstate 40. This is a beautiful country right here. Nobody don't pull out in front of me, I'll be alright. Gotta watch your speed a little bit when you're around these turns and everything. And all of a sudden you go down to 65 mile an hour. Gotta watch them when you come into these towns. They're gonna change their speed limit. Most of them does. I haven't been driving much because I've been sick, that gum flu or whatever it is. It's kind of letting up on me a little bit now. But when you're sick, you don't feel like getting out here and messing with these trucks. It's a little bit harder to do this than it is to farm. It's a lot harder to do than farming. You know, you got guys that you can get to help you on the farm. Ain't nobody to help you out here. All you have is cruise control, and that's it. Take your feet off the pedals. And that's all you got here. You got a beautiful truck. It's Peterbilt, and it's quad axle. Only the one next to the cab will lift. There's three of them stays on the ground all the time. I got that fourth one lifted up right now because I ain't got that much weight on. Believe you me, it's almost as good. Well, I say almost. What I'm saying is it's just like sitting in the cab. If I had virtual reality glasses, I'd be in the cab. It'd be just like I was when I was driving over the road for 33 and a half years. Fortunately, I drove a Kenworth W9L when I was driving over the road most of the time. Sometimes I had to drive a Peterbilt when mine was in the shop or something. But I got a brand new Kenworth W9L out of Birmingham, Alabama. I went down there and picked it up. And it took a long time. I put several years on that truck before I had to do anything to it. I enjoyed that. Me and my wife, for the last 6 years of my trucking life, my wife helped me and she drove with me. I'd carry the load down and she'd take it empty and go back to where we had to be next to pick up another load, and she was good at that. I thank her for that. She's not around no more, and I miss her, but we got to keep going. But she helped me a whole lot when I get my load unloaded. She'd take that truck. I'd get in the sleeper and go to sleep. She'd take that truck and we'd be at the next place before we was gonna load the next morning. She was good at that, and like I said, I appreciate her a whole bunch. It really does help when you got somebody to help you. It's a real appreciative. Cause if you by yourself, you go to sleep where you go to sleep is where you wake up. But when you got a partner, you don't wake up the same place you go to sleep. And that's what I liked about it. But she got paid when I went off into the sleeper berth. She got paid from the time I was in there to the time I got out, tucked back over. She got paid. That's what I liked about where I worked. They were good people. They helped us out. And I loved driving a truck back when I was driving over the road, especially when my wife was with me. I didn't have to worry about home. We had one another. We had our home with us. And hey, it worked out great. And I loved it. I mean, I loved it. We seen the United States together, and we enjoyed it. Sometimes we got to stop and visit a little bit, one state or another, you know. Sometimes we couldn't. Whenever we had a layover, that's when we could, you know, visit. We'd go to where we were supposed to load up, but we had a layover to get to it, you know, get it loaded up. So we'd stay there, maybe go out somewhere to eat, something like that, you know. I don't drink, so we didn't go to bars. Now I did when I was younger. I used to go to Gillies out there in Texas, but I finally quit going to Gillies. Gillies ain't there no more. But Gillies burnt down, so that was awful. I hated that, cause it was a beautiful place out there, big, huge place. Gillies had 5 different bands playing under one roof, and you couldn't hear one of them from the other one. So it was a pretty good sized place. It was I think 5 acres under one roof. So pretty good sized place out there. I was out there when they was filming Urban Cowboy, John Travolta and them. That's pretty good. I enjoyed that. Didn't get to stay long. I think 4 hours is about as much as I got to stay on there and watch some film at. I watched him ride that mechanical bull. That gum bus right there caused every bit of that. I had to get off the road there. I watched him ride that mechanical bull course, they didn't turn it up full force on him. We rode the darn thing. We got throwed off of it. But it was fun. I mean, you know, I enjoyed it. I mean, I've been all over the United States and I've enjoyed it. Sometimes I'd get snowbound up in the northern part of the eastern part of the western part of the state in Minnesota, places like that, Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota. We'd get caught up in Nebraska. We got snowed in Nebraska one time, and it all played out, I reckon. Cause when we got snowed in, we got paid for layover. That's one thing I like about where I work. If you got laid over on account of snow or whatever, you got paid for it. Waiting on a load, we got paid for it. It wasn't when we was sitting still like that. We wasn't getting paid. We were. He told us when we started to work for him. I started to work for him by myself. Then my wife joined me. He told us all layovers are paid for, and if you need any money to make it, you know, all you had to do is tell him and he'd send you money. It was good people to work for. I miss them. And they're not but about 5 miles from where I live now, where they're at, where I worked. Out of. We didn't stay there, but Stan Wood is a good man. Him and his brother both, and his daddy. I drove for them for a good while, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I always done what he wanted me to do, and he always rewarded me too. That's one thing I got to say about Stan Wood. He paid me. A lot of times he just put money in my pocket, and he said, keep your mouth shut, go on and have yourself a good time at home, you know. I said, man, you don't got to do that. He said, I'm doing it because I want to. I said, okay, no problemo. He put some money in my pocket one Friday evening, and he said, you and your wife go on and have a good dinner on me. And sometimes him and his wife would go out and eat with us. They were good people. I enjoyed working for people like that. Don't find too many of them anymore that'll do like he did. He lives right down below me here. I've seen him several times since I quit. He's retired and sold his business now where I work. He sold it to a company out of Chicago, Illinois, so they kept his name, but he's enjoyed his retirement too. I talked to him here the other day, and he said, Lord, yeah, he said, me and the wife and kids are enjoying this time together. I told him, I said, I know, I've been retired for a while. He said, I know. It's hard to get used to it, but you will eventually get used to it. And it took me about 5 years to get used to not going to work. But I finally got used to it. I mean, what I'm talking about, missing it. There was a couple of weeks after I retired that my wife would catch me getting ready to go to work in the morning. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting ready to go to work. She said, you don't have no more job. You're retired, son. I said, oh boy, I forgot about that. She said, get back in the bed, go to sleep. And it's pretty bad when you catch yourself getting ready to go to work and you ain't got no work to go to. I did that several times. It don't take long after you retire that it's still in your blood, and you kind of try to do the same things you did when you ain't got nothing to do. Sometimes it's a little downhearted when I would get ready for work and I didn't have nowhere to go. I said, man, I miss my work. And she knew that too. I had a 2005 Kenworth when I retired, and I sold it. After I sold it, I really missed that. I missed that because that was my living. And I knew after I retired, I wasn't going to get nowhere near the money that I made with that truck. Nobody that's working gonna get nowhere near what they make when they working. Uh, Retirement don't mean that much, really. You get about half of what you was used to making. If that much. I know you have to change your lifestyle. If you ain't got a bunch of money saved up in the bank, you have to change your lifestyle, and I did change mine. Uh, After I retired, it was about 2 years after I retired, me and the wife started having problems because I was at home all the time, which she was with me for the last 6 years on the road. But we got well, we started arguing and raising Cain at one another at home, and we finally got a divorce, which I didn't want. But she caused that. She got into some bad stuff there and drugs, and that hurt me. I had to let go because I didn't believe in what she was doing. I never did drugs. That was a no-no. My mom and dad taught me when I was coming up, don't be guilty of going into drugs, because that's a bad thing for you. And I always stayed away from it. Hey, with drugs when we were coming up, 18, 19, 20 years old, wasn't nothing like there is out there now, but we had drugs back in too we had to stay away from. I'd have my friend to come up on me on the weekend after school was let out. A couple of years into schooling, they'd have parties and wanted me to go with them. I said, not if there's going to be drugs involved in it, I'm not. I told them, I said, drinking's one thing. that's bad enough, but drugs is another thing. I said I'm not gonna do drugs. I drank a little beer here and there, but I didn't care nothing about no drugs. I kind of believe right now that's why I'm still living, because I never did get into them darn drugs. I think we're getting on 35 here. I ain't for sure, but I believe it's 35. It goes down into Dallas. This could be 10. I don't know. I didn't look at it when I was getting on here. I believe it's 35, though it goes down to 10. I know we're in Texas, I know that. That's the only place you can run 85 mile an hour. Now right now it's 287. That's the highway we on. We was in Dallas, Texas, the morning the earthquake hit California out there. We was in Dallas, Fort Worth, and we felt it. We felt the ground shake in Dallas. That was the awfulest feeling. Going down the road and your truck starts shaking all over the place. We had to pull off the side of the road. That's kind of scary. Then we started listening to we pulled off at a truck stop and watching the news on TV, and we seen where that earthquake hit California. That was on Martin Luther King's birthday. Thank goodness it was his birthday, because they weren't that many. Wasn't as many people on the interstate that could have been. There was a bunch out there, but they weren't as many as they could have been. Generally 405 in California is loaded from bumper to bumper, just about it. That day, it was a bunch out there, but not nowhere near as a regular day. Well, I gotta pull into this one. Uh-oh, somebody's car running hot. Well, we've seen a bunch of things. We were down there in Galveston when that hurricane hit Galveston. We had just got on the boat ferry going across and going into Houston when it hit. I was in Houston, leaving Houston when it hit. I was lucky because I was right there where it hit. I've been lucky a lot out there on the highway, on the interstates. Tornadoes. I was in Missouri one morning, a tornado hit, and I just barely escaped it, and it was rough. telling you, I was in that one in Missouri and the one in, um, oh man, I'll think of it here in a minute. Well, I'll be doggone, I can't even think right now. Arkansas. That's where it was, Arkansas. I just left the truck stop in Arkansas one morning. Well, it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And me and the wife, we got through eating breakfast. We got out there. And just as we got out on the interstate, a tornado hit right there where we was at. I mean, it tore the truck stop up, tore some homes up around it. It done a lot of damage right there. And we almost got caught up in it. The tornado had the back of my trailer, and I couldn't shake it loose. Only thing I could do then, only thing I could decide to do was outrun it. And I started going faster, and finally it let go of my trailer. That was an awful feeling too, when it was shaking my trailer all over the place. But we got away from it. Came back through there that evening, it was tore all to pieces everywhere around there, and I said, Lord have mercy how close we were. And I thank the good Lord for that one. I thank the good Lord every time I had a close call, and he got me by it. Matter of fact, we're coming into Dallas, not too far from here. I just got fuel. Boy, if people could see the things that I saw on the over the road, they'd wonder how I'm still here. Uh, I got caught in a snowstorm in Michigan one evening. My truck was actually pushing snow with a bumper. And the only way I could see the highway was look up at the top of the trees, because the highway was cut out. You know, the trees was cut out along the highway, and I was hoping that I was in the middle of the road. So there wasn't nothing else around, so I got in the middle. It took us about 3 hours to come from where we got loaded down to Detroit. And when we got to Detroit, they had the salt trucks out and everything, moving snow before we could get on. That night was horrible. It was cold, wind blowing, it was so cold. But we finally made it. I put my chains on, and we went right down the middle of the road. It was a two-lane highway. There wasn't nobody around, so I got in the middle of the road. We made it. I won't never forget it. We had on a load of bone meal on a dump trailer. We loaded it up at a farm up in above Detroit. Won't never forget the evening we went in there. Stuff like that you don't forget. When you have a close call out there on the interstate, you don't forget that neither. Well, there's a lot of things that you don't forget, but the main things is when you have a hard time going down the road or something like that, you don't forget that. Wichita Falls. 287. There's 44 down there. I've been here a bunch of times. Everywhere in Texas, I've been there. I've been in Dallas, Fort Worth, Wichita Falls. I've been in every state of Texas, just about it. Corpus Christi, everywhere. Man, we've been everywhere. The 6 years that my wife drove with me, we've been all over the United States. In them 6 years she went with me, she seen the sceneries of her lifetime. I guarantee you she did. It's something else. Just memories now. I guess you can tell by looking ahead on my hair. On my head they're white, my beard is too. We worked Panassa for about 5 years down there in Florida, Cape Kennedy, and all them. When the shuttle would get ready to go up, we could sit and watch it from where we was at, because we were close to it. And after it took off, we had to take up the sand and stuff that it burnt when it was taken up. We had to take it to in other words, it was hazardous material after they done that. We had to take it to a safe place to get rid of it. I won't never forget that neither. Cape Kennedy down there, we've been in there a bunch of times. You had their name thing on your shirt when you went into Cape Kennedy or Cape Canaveral. You had to put on one of their things, one of their coats, that had your name on it and everything with their name. Stuff like that I won't never forget. And a lot of people wouldn't understand what we went through when we was out there. I tell you, I enjoyed every minute of it. We go down there. They showed us the space shuttle. They took us out to the space shuttle and let us see it. The one that had flown before the one we was getting ready to, for it to take off. They took us up to the one that had just had a mission, and we went through it. It was awesome. I mean, I've seen things that people wouldn't believe. I mean, it was awesome, and I had a wonderful time. My wife was right there with me. She seen the space shuttle. Matter of fact, right now up above the house up here about 75 miles, we have one of the Gemini space capsules that took off. It's sitting up there on the side of the road in Huntsville, on top of the mountain over there, and you can see it on Interstate 65. You can pull off a road and go up to it and look at it. I loved it. I've done that several times since I've been living here. I went up there and looked at it. They painted it. It's still got the rocket boosters on it, but they're not, they're not active. But they still got all that stuff on it. You can walk up under it and look at all that stuff that they had to get it up into space. But you couldn't go up in it, but you could walk around it and look at it. It was awesome. It's still awesome. I don't think they'll ever take it down. Surely they won't. And right on the other side of it, Redstone Arsenal, that's a space center, and they have one of the shuttles, the older shuttles, sitting in there before you go onto their property. It's sitting right there on the left. You can get out and go in it and look at it, or we could. But you had to have special passes to do that. My wife looked at me one morning, we'd going down the road. She said, "Baby," she said, "I'm having one of the best times of my life with you. We seeing everything, the space shuttle, Cape Kennedy, we were down there. They showed us a bunch of stuff down there. She won't never forget it, and I know I won't. But right now, all memories right now, and I've enjoyed my memories too. I can look back and tell the good time that we had while we were on the road. Hey, I loved every minute of it, man. I just wish I could share with y'all what I've been through in the Space Center, NASA's era that I was in. I worked there. We were everything but astronauts. And we worked for Disney World down there in Florida, Disneyland, whatever you want to call it. And we worked for them for quite a while. They let us go on in everything they had free. We rode everything they had at Disney World. We had a ball. I mean, when you work for them, you get to ride free. We kept all their contaminations and all that. We kept it all out of reach of anybody. We'd take it up when something would happen. After about 2 years there, and at the Kennedy Space Center right down below us, that we worked down there for about 2 years, and it was wonderful. I mean, it was wonderful. We got 1,084 miles to go to Palm Beach, so we're on our way. We on Interstate 20 now. We'll drop off at 20 and go down to 10 for long. Then we'll be on our way. I always looked at it back when we was running over road. When we get on, till we got on Interstate 10, we wasn't going to Florida. But when we got on Interstate 10, we knew we were going to Florida. That's just the way it is. Interstate 10 goes all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, and from there you can get on 95, go to Key West, Miami. Key West is 101, and we've been down there. Evidently, we weren't down there when that hurricane hit Key West, so Florida is it's a beautiful state. I love going to Florida. Back when I was in my 30s, I had a job. We would take 10 plate from Birmingham, Alabama to Jacksonville, Florida every other day, and it was Maxwell House coffee 10 plate that we carried down from Maxwell House coffee cans, and we'd go right up the street from Maxwell House and pick up a load of beer coming back to Montgomery, Alabama, from Anheuser-Busch. They showed us how they brewed the beer. We took tours in there, and big vats, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's some huge vats in Anheuser-Busch. I've been in Anheuser-Busch a bunch of times down there in Jacksonville, Florida. We carried 10 plate down to Maxwell House. They'd give us coffee, because I drank coffee. Well, they kept me in coffee when I done that. They'd give me a couple of cases every time I'd go down there, maybe a month, I didn't have to worry about coffee when I was going down there. And it was fresh, too. It wasn't sitting in no warehouse. It was fresh. It come fresh off of the dead blame line. We seen it when they was putting it in the cans and sealing them, and they give us the cases after they come off the line. That's what you call fresh. And I enjoyed that. I drink Maxwell House now, and Folgers, but when I can't get Maxwell House, I drink Folgers. But I've had a time of my life. I have seen more than human eyes has ever seen. And it's awesome, the things that we've seen. Stuff like that is what kept us going, you know. We never had no bad times out there. I mean, I broke down some, you know, but really wasn't no bad times about it. Nothing bad ever happened to us, except for when we would broke down. But other than that, we had a pretty good life out there on the interstate. I could write a book. I guarantee you, I could write a book on what I've done in my lifetime on over the road driving. I could write a book if I could, you know. My arthritis and everything now. I'd have to get somebody to probably type it, uh, or put it in the computer when I tell them. I could do that, but it's not like you're doing it yourself. But I could write a book. I've thought about doing it. I've been thinking about what call it. I guess life over the road. Life and times over the road trucking history or something like that. You know, life through a windshield. I mean, you know, anything like that would be a good title, because it'd have something to do with trucking. You know, of course, I would add my farming life in there with it. When I was young, when I was 13 years old, I was working for a guy that we lived on his farm. When it come time to plant, I drove the tractor. He taught me how to plant, cultivate, drag. A lot of people had never heard of a drag, because that's a big. We put about 6 or 7 cross ties and mount them together, laying down, and we'd put a chain on each end of it, and we'd hook that chain to the tractor, and we'd drag the fields to get them ready to plant. We'd cultivate, and we took that drag and we dragged the fields. When we got through with that, then the next day, my dad and all the farmers would get out there and start planting. It was an awesome childhood that I had when we was coming up. And that one in yonder that's laying in the bed in there, or he's probably sitting up, he was there. All of my brothers and sisters was there. We had good life. I guarantee we had a good life. Sometimes I go back down there to the old farm where we lived, um, and just look around, you know. One of the places on the left where we was going into the farm, it wasn't there no more. I mean, it was just grass. And he had cattle. The guy that got it now, he's got cattle on it. Cattle and a barn and all that. But we had farms on every bit of that 200 and something acres down there, or 500 acres. We had farms on it. And that's where I got my farming experience when I was younger. We had a blast. Sure, I guarantee you I could write a book. Wow, we still on Interstate 20. I remember when we lived on the farm down there, before I got old enough to plow with a tractor or whatever, we'd help Daddy in the mornings before school. We'd get up at daybreak and go out there and help Daddy, and then when it got time to go get ready to go to school, well, he'd tell us it's time for us to go home, take a bath, and get ready to go to school. So we'd go to the house. We had two number 3 wash tubs on the back porch, and Mom would heat water on the stove and put it in them tubs, and then put some cold water on in there where it wouldn't be too hot. We'd take a bath in them number 3 wash tubs, and then we'd get ready. We'd go to school. We'd get out of school about 3:30 in the evening. We'd come home. We had to walk home. We didn't have no other way. We walked about 3 miles home, but we still got home in time to help Daddy on the field in the evening, late evening. We did that day in and day out when farming time was in. On Saturday and Sunday, we did that all day long. We'd farm all day long on Saturday and Sunday. Then some time to gather the crops. We did the same thing when we were gathering the crops. We'd gather crops and we'd go to school, and we'd walk to school. We'd get out of school, walk back home, and fortunately, when we got home, the gathering time was over. We had to wait till the next morning. But what we did when we got home, we would get our firewood and our coal and our kindling for the fire for the cook stove. We had to get it up and put it behind the stove every night for the next day. And if you didn't do your job, you had a job. Each one of us had a job to do, and if you didn't do it before dark, you did it after dark. And that was what was scary sometimes. A lot of times I would forget when I had to get the water from the spring in the evening before it got dark. I'd let dark catch me a bunch of times, which But Daddy told me, he said, son, you got to go down there and get the water anyway. It's your time. So we light out down the path going to the spring, and it dark as it could be. We didn't have no flashlight. We could see the path, and when we got to the spring, we knew we was there. You could smell the water, and you could hear it running. You had to get a bucket of water and walk back up the hill to the house. And you talking about scary when you 6, 7 years old, that was scary. But we did it. I survived it. Things like that in my childhood I won't never forget. Look back on it now, it was funny. I'd be scared as I could be to going down that trail that night to get water. It's bad enough getting coal in after dark and cutting stove wood after dark, but going to the spring, we had a back porch light, but that porch light shined only so far down the path and you lost it. But of course you could look behind you and you could see the porch light from the house all the way to the spring, but it didn't shine no light down there. I won't never forget them times. Long as I live, I won't never forget them times. We had a good life and we just didn't know it. Most, you can look around right now, you can look around, there's people in worse shape than we are. We just have to look. Right now, there's people worse off than I am. And I thank the good Lord. I thank the good Lord every day that I have what I have right now. Because I've looked around and I've seen people that didn't have nowhere near as much as what I've got right now, and they keep on striving. Sometimes it's hard to see some of them go through the things that they go through in life because they ain't got money. A lot of times I've helped people. A lot of times I've helped people that didn't have nothing. I can't stand for nobody, especially children, to go to bed without eating something, and I've done that a lot. I'd give them money to buy something for the kids. I've done without myself to help other people because I knew what I had, and I knew they didn't have nothing. And I could say, look, I can do without for a while to help somebody else because I got a big heart. And it's something. I lived in Jasper one year up there, and it was Christmas. And the girl that lived beside me, this after me and my wife done separated, got a divorce. There was a lady that lived beside me. They had a young boy. He was probably about 5 years old, 5 or 6. They didn't have nothing. They barely could survive paying the rent. And it was Christmas. And I asked her, I just come out and asked her. I said, Sandy, I said, have you got any money to buy that baby Christmas? And she started crying. I said, what is it? She said, no, I haven't. She said, we can barely survive our home, paying our rent and eating. I said, you mean that baby ain't got nothing for Christmas tomorrow or day after tomorrow's Christmas? She said, no. I hate to say it, but she said, I can't afford it. I said, well, we're going to give him Christmas. I had a twin speed bicycle. Swin, I think. I don't forgot what kind it was, but it was a 8 or 10 speed bicycle I had. And it was pretty new because I hadn't been riding it too long. I cleaned that bike up, oiled it and everything, cleaned it up, and I wrapped that bike up. I did. I took and bought some Christmas paper. I wrapped that bicycle up, and I give it to that baby for Christmas. And I'm going to tell you something. You talking about crying? I bawled like a baby when that baby found out that Christmas present that morning. I have a heart, and it made me feel so good to give that baby Christmas. And she thanked me for it, and she cried like I did. And I said, as long as you live right here by me, that baby ain't gonna go without Christmas. It's about 4 years that I gave that baby Christmas. See, his daddy was dead. He was gone. They wasn't nobody to take care of them but her. And at Christmas time, I took care of the baby. And folks, that's what kind of man I am. I'm a good, decent human being, and I care for other people. And I wouldn't do nothing to hurt nobody. That's just the way I am. And I'll always be that way. I've helped people since I've been here. Where I live now, I helped a lady across the street. They didn't have nothing to eat. I went and made them a grocery bill and then took it to them. And there's another time she bawled and her husband did. I said, look, don't think nothing about it. I said, just enjoy. And they did. I had good friends, and then they moved away about 3 years later. I haven't messed with nobody since. Well, there was one right here that lived beside me, her and her husband and girl. I helped them some, but that was beside the point there. That wasn't that much. Help end meet, you know. And I tell you, I thank the world of what I've done for people. And my brother in there, I love my brother because he's never let me do without. He has never let me do without. And I thank the good Lord for him. And I love my brother. I love my sister too, but I don't get to go visit her much. One reason, I should be ashamed of myself, but my sister looked just like my mama. I mean, exactly like my mother. And it hurt to see her because I love my mama dearly. And things like that happen in life, you know. That's the way it is. You know, I love my sister. I call her and talk to her all the time. I told her, and she said, I know, brother. She said, I know. I told her, I said, sister, it's not because I don't love you. It's because I can't handle it, seeing you, because you look just like mama. And I love my mother dearly. And she said, I know, brother. All right, let's get back to trucking and get out of that. Well, we on Interstate 10. We are 571 miles from Palm Beach, Florida now. We just come through Mississippi, or coming through Mississippi, Louisiana, and then Alabama. No, we done come through Louisiana. We're going into Alabama next. But that's the story of my life, people. I could write a book. I mean, I could write a bestseller probably if I just had the things to do it with. And I hope that everybody that hears that, what I've said this morning, would subscribe to my channel and give me a like and maybe share it. I mean, it would be wonderful. I'm doing my best to get my channel built back up. I had another channel for over a year. I had 650 something subscribers, going to 1,000, and had 54,600 and something viewers. But something happened, and I got that channel took away for 3 months. I'll get it back when 3 months is up. I'm on a probation period, I guess, what you call it. Something happened, I don't know what it was. YouTube took my channel down, kept me from live streaming for 3 months. And it was because the people would get on my live chat, on my TeamSpeak and all that, would play music in the background and I didn't know it, and I'd get a copyright strike. That's what took my channel down. I will get it back. I'll be better than ever. And if I made assumptions of somebody doing this or that, I'm sorry. I am plumb wrong. I was just frustrated when I said it. But I know why. Because the copyright was claimed by the songwriters. And I'm sorry if I made assumptions of somebody else doing it to me, so I apologize. So I think everybody that comes on here and talks with me or chats with me gives me a subscribe and like and sometimes shares with it. I appreciate everybody that does that. I love everybody that helps me. And I know that's one of my friends real happy I said that. I appreciate him. And I ain't gonna mention no names. He knows who he is. And he more than likely listening to me. But I felt deprived or something. I don't know what you would call it when I lost my channel. I couldn't stream on it no more. For 90 days, I'm off of that live stream for 90 days, and then I can go back to it. But I've had people to play music in the background when I was talking to them, and I couldn't even hear it. But the channel would pick it up, and that was a copyright strike, and that's what took me down. Copyright. And I never intentionally done nothing like that, so I'm innocent of that, but it was on my channel. I was broadcasting, and I didn't know it, but it was there, and I got caught for it. So people, if you're going to broadcast live on YouTube or any place, Twitch, anywhere, be careful, because you are responsible for what comes over your air while you're broadcasting. And quick as anything, music will get you quicker than anything, because the holders, copywriters will get you. They will make you pay for it, and like they did me. So I'd like everybody to be careful when you're broadcasting like I'm doing. I'm not having nobody on live no more. I have to take care of Tim, the farming and trucking legend right now. If I don't, there won't be no more. So I hope everybody enjoys. I'm gonna be quiet for a while and just watch me drive. There's Florida. Pensacola. I'm planning on going there this year, this summer, Pensacola. I want to visit Florida one more time. I'm not getting no younger. I just want to go see the beaches one more time before I pass out or pass away, before my time's up. I'd love to do it this year. I used to go down there at Pensacola and Panama City a lot, but it's been a while since I've been down there, a good while. Now I'm gonna think about going back where I can see the beaches one more time in the ocean. I tell you what, a lot of people know it, but sitting on the ocean uh, shore at night, I mean, a lot of people don't think it is, but that's the awesomest smell that I can smell. I love it. Um, it's just the ocean smells great. Oh, great! I almost hit that pole pillar there. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Hey hippie, how you doing, Bubba? Heard from you in a while. Of course, I've been sick myself too, you know. I'm going to Palm Beach, Florida. How you been doing, Bubba? Hello. Eyelash mess with me. Hippie, this is another quad 4 that I'm driving today. I got my other one that you and Nation built. I got it in the shop. I built this one right here, but just ain't got my name on the side of it. Beautiful truck, same color and everything. No, I heard that, buddy. I know what you're talking about. Oh, I found out um, what got me suspended for 3 months, hippie. Um, I know that he didn't mean it. I know for a fact he didn't mean it, but Nation was playing music in the background when he was talking to me on Discord. And uh, YouTube picked it up and they gave me a copyright strike, and that was the last one I could get on that trial base, you know. Now I got to go 3 months before I can get back on that channel that I've been took off of. I can get back on it in 3 months and have the same subscribers and all that. This one here is YouTube and Twitch. I've got 22 subscribers now and 500 something viewers already. So I'm building it back up. Some of my people that I've been talking to, you know, I was talking to on my other channel, has found me, and I put it on Facebook, and they'd come down here and they'd get on Twitch, Twitch and YouTube. I'm on 2 of them now. It seems like it's going pretty good, hippie. Of course, I've been sick. I haven't been able to truck none in a while, and I thought I'd get on here today and truck a little bit. I haven't been able to truck because I've been sick, you know, and when you get sick, you don't feel like driving no truck. Yeah, I have this one in Twitch. They told me what to do, so that's what I did. And just that channel is shut down for 90 days. But they said after 90 days is up, they will turn it back on. So I gotta be careful and not to have no live streaming. I mean, nobody talking to me live on here while I'm streaming, hippie. You understand that, don't you? told Vern, I told Hal, and I told all of them I can't be streaming and talking to them on Discord or on TeamSpeak. I can't do it no more. And the one that took me down, they showed it. They showed it come off of Discord. And it had Nation's name on top of it. But he didn't mean to. And it wasn't a bad song, but I couldn't hear it playing. I could not hear it playing, or I'd have told him to cut it off. But it don't take but just a few seconds, and you've got a copyright strike, you know? I did not hear it playing, but when they sent it back to me, then I could hear it. They sent it back to me, and I played it, and it was a copyright strike. I didn't hear it, but they did. I'm going to, Hippie. I got to, Bubba. I've got to. Unless you and I want to get on TeamSpeak or something like that and go to my channel. Because I know you ain't going to harm me. So, something like that, we could do that. And there's very few that I would, they don't know no better. I don't think they know no better, you know? Boy, it's raining in Florida. Lake City. There's Lake City going that way. But I felt like getting out here and trucking a little bit, and it makes it easier when I got somebody to talk to on here like you, and it makes it go better too, you know what I mean? That cotton picking truck right yonder been in front of me all the way from Texas. And he's pulling the same box I'm pulling. Snyder. That's a Snyder National trailer up in front of me up there. They pay me $150,000 to bring this down here. Yeah, for real, because they don't know no better, Hippie. Or if they do, they don't care. I'm just gonna have to do that. Take care of Tim, you know. I love doing what I'm doing, but I'll be doggone, I'm not gonna have nobody take me off my channel no more. That just ain't gonna happen. Like I said, you and I can get on TeamSpeak and go to my channel down there. They still got it there, and talk on there, cause Vern and them don't get on TeamSpeak no more. So I ain't got to worry about anybody coming from Discord down there, I don't think. So I can do that if you want to do that sometime. I mean, I can download TeamSpeak and go from there. Right now I'm eating cheese. I'm trying to wash that truck on the road, but I'm putting my cheese back up too. I'm 160 miles away from Palm Beach, Florida. Hippie, does the stream look good? The streaming look good, and the sound, does it look good? Sound good? Thank you there, brother. I appreciate that. I'm gonna do some farming after this. When I get this one unloaded down here, be almost 2 hours. I'm gonna do some farming when I get this one unloaded. I got another 123 miles. I'm gonna kind of, divide it up here and there, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours on one, then go to the other one, keep from burning myself out. Aha, beat y'all. I know it. That's what gets me too, hippie. I've been doing it for nearly 2 years, and it's all I've got. I get burned out on one, I go to the other one. I've actually enjoyed this trip right here because I've been talking to you, and like I said, if you want to get on TeamSpeak and go to my room, we'll do that. If you still have TeamSpeak downloaded. I got 83 more miles to get this one down here to Palm Beach. I brought this thing 2,300 miles. I done some of it last night when I wasn't streaming. Then I done this today. I think it was 2,100 miles today. I like the way they picking up the interstates in the middle of the interstate. They got it painted, you know, like they have in real life, and I like that. You can go down there, Palm Springs or wherever, and they'll have it on the highway. Okay, that'd be all right. I might be in a farm, but I bought that uh, Euro Sports, that Euro trucking. I bought it. I'm waiting on my CD to get here. I'm not. I don't know how to get it to play without the CD. I don't know how to download the trucking thing. I've got my codes. They give me my codes when I bought it, and I just don't know how to download the trucking game. Do you like that Euro trucking? I'm on Interstate 95 right now. I'm 38 miles from Palm Beach. So I've been here and done this before in real life. I know where I'm at. I I don't know if it's on Steam or not, brother. I bought it off of the game thing. I don't forgot now. It was so cheap. It wasn't but $9, you know. I believe it was Steam, but they didn't download it. They sending me the CD. They did give me the code to put in there where I could play it, but I don't know where to download it. There's Palm Coast, Palm Beach. When you get back from the grocery store, we'll talk about it a little bit more, and maybe you can help me get it on there, all right? Just get back with me when you get back from the grocery store, and I'll let you help me download it. If you don't mind. I heard that. So you do like Euro Sports, Euro trucking? I don't know which one I bought. I think it was Euro 2. Is that the one I need? That's the one I bought, I think. believe that's the one I bought. This thing going to Walmart. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I bought, brother. ES2, yeah. I heard that. The ES2 is what I bought. I know that for a fact. Okay, we are here at Walmart. I drive it this far, I'm gonna get the time for parking it. I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna lose out on that, buddy. I guess they just give you a choice, you know. I'd rather get all my points. That's good. That's good. I'll get them. If we don't get to do it, I can get it when I get my CD. It should be in the mailbox now. I just ain't went to the mail in 2 or 3 days, so it's probably sitting there now waiting on me. I mess around and let somebody get it out and steal it, I'll be in trouble. I still got the code though. Well, that's what I brought down here, so $150,000, a lot of money for carrying one load to Florida. Let's see what they got in here now. Probably nothing. Yeah, they do too. 154 from Tuscaloosa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Raleigh, North Carolina. Gaspé, Quebec, Canada. Ely, Nevada. That's the highest paying one on there, Ely. I don't want that truck. I'm gonna get out right now. I'm gonna find a place to park up. If I can find a place to park up, I'm gonna get out and nowhere like right here, are they? I could probably back up in that corner right there. Let me try that. That'll work. That'll work right there. That'll work fine. Let me check and see if there's anything else anywhere here. I am in Palm Beach, California. Oh, Bakersfield, California, 174,000. There's a loader going to Canyatia, Arizona, 211. Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's one of them right here. I ain't gonna mess with it right now. I'm gonna either watch me a movie or get over on. I'm gonna take a break. You go on to the store and I'll be back on that while, okay, buddy? I'm gonna take me a break and I'll be back on that while. It's just now 2 o'clock, so almost 2 o'clock. I'll talk to you after a while. I'll be back on probably about 3 o'clock, okay, or 3:30, somewhere around there. And if you come on, you can help me then, okay? I'm gonna cut this live stream off, 'cause I don't want to get caught for copyright. I'll be back after a while.